to another episode of Just Two Girls Who Work Together and That Guy. I'm 1/3 of your co-host, Terica, and I got my other people with me, Keisha, Rashad. What's up, y'all?
Hey.
All right. So we're back with another episode, and this week we're going to dissect or talk a little bit about the 20-year Bad Boy reunion.
Bad Boy.
Right.
Clink, clink, clink. All right.
So this was probably one of the most anticipated reunion tours of our generation, I'm sure.
I was just about to say in my life.
Yeah, it was probably anticipated tours next to probably the So Def reunion tour. I don't even think there'll be any other labels outside of maybe like a Death Row reunion that we would be excited to see.
Yeah, not a full label, not a label's roster of like artists. Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. So 2015, we saw the 20-year reunion. And for those of you that have followed the story of Bad Boy actually originated in 93. However, they don't actually recognize their 20 years starting until 95 up until 2015. So that was the 20-year reunion. But we saw this kickoff on the BET Awards. I remember, I think, were they talking about the 20-year reunion? Like, were we anticipating them reuniting?
I don't think so.
I think it was a total surprise when it happened on BET.
Yeah.
I think it was that was the announcement, like, is when they came out and performed.
Yeah. We see them reunite on that stage, and we'll kind of talk about, first of all, let's talk about Bad Boy and the importance to the culture and why like this was so anticipated. Why is it that out of all the tours, this reunion tour was the most anticipated?
Well, one, they got like just a crazy string of hits that are very nostalgic, a lot of party type kind of hits as well. So like that was another level that would add to like the reunion tour, was like, oh, it's gonna be lit, it's gonna be hype, it's gonna, and just the nostalgia factor, and like that we hadn't seen. I don't think we had ever seen all of them together like that. So.
Right, that's what I was about to say. It was the roster for me because you got everybody: Carl Thomas, Faith Evans, the R&B side, and then you got the hip hop side with Biggie, Locks, all kinds of people.
And a lot of them we hadn't seen in a long time. Like a lot, let me say, not to say that they weren't active, but just like in the mainstream public eye or whatever, like that was the first time a lot of people had seen a lot of them in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I think their last time we've seen them as a collective was like in the 90s. I think they had a tour in the 90s at some point where they all went together, but I think that was the last time we saw any form of a tour from them as a collective. I also think that it was anticipated because you're gonna get a show with Puff. You know you're gonna get this level of entertainment that you would not get the CEO of a record label, and so it was anticipated.
Right, and I have to say, I mean, Diddy is known for that artist development and that creative direction, and if you notice, everybody on the roster has to be able to, even if they're not a dancer or whatever, they got to still be a good performer. Mm-hmm. And Lorianne Gibson is like the right hand person to that. And it was like, Boomcat, and I was like, if she's involved, then this is gonna be a crazy show because she doesn't play and she cracks whips on that to perform. So
also, not even just from a choreography standpoint, but vocals as well. I know LaShawn Daniels headed up the vocal arrangement piece for the tour as well. So like they took that very seriously. Even their background singers, I know Isaac Caree, many people know him for working with Kirk Franklin. He has his own solo projects as well. Was former member of Men of Standard, and he was one of the background vocalists. Like they took all of that very seriously, along with the choreography. So I was super excited. They hit the stage 2015. Puff comes out of that, what as kids look like a damn cheese grater. Instead of when he comes out 2015 at the BET Awards, he comes with the suit on, he gets and he
does look like he's coming out of cheese grater.
I never thought of that.
Right.
Out
What was crazy, like, just nobody knew what to expect. Like when he came out, we still didn't know what we were getting. Like, we didn't know everybody was coming out. Like, he came out, and, you know, it's like, hey, what's up? Like, everybody's like, woo! But then Mace comes out, and then, like, that's the whole thing just gets started. It's crazy.
Absolutely. So you got, as you mentioned, you have Mace that comes out. You also have 112 that comes out. You have Faith. I believe French comes out. Who else? Who am I missing?
Lil Kim.
Locks, they come out.
Yeah.
Chris,
I think that was everybody for that show.
Christian stage dancing with Christian as usual.
Right. I just remember him falling in the little hole where Lil Kim was supposed to pop up out of.
Right.
I was just like, oh my God.
And I feel like Lil Kim like stole the whole entire performance when she came out.
Yes.
The crowd went crazy.
They went crazy when she came out. Yeah.
Crazy. I think for me, that moment, you just went back to like where you were when those records dropped and like your age you were when those records dropped. It was just a moment in time. You could see the enjoyment on everybody's face in the audience. So, you know, if they were enjoying it like that, we were probably at home 10 times going seeing those moments in time. So
I constantly look at that performance. Like, it's if I can find a good version, because it's always on and off of YouTube and stuff, but like I watch it every so often. Like, it's a really good performance.
Same. It goes second to me next to his performance on the MTV Awards that year.
Yep. That's that's one of my favorite ones. Yeah.
Absolutely. So we see this tour. Oh, sorry, not tour. We see this performance. At the end, you know, they do the Fat Boy. Okay, you know, they hype at the end.
Right.
Yeah.
Next thing we know, we start hearing the rumors of a full-on tour. Start hearing those rumors. Everybody getting excited because this is a sure, like, sellout. Like, this tour is going to sell out with all the people that they have on that roster, guest appearances. It was like a no-brainer that this tour, right? So we get to 2016. They decide to do a 2-day spot. You know, it's Biggie's birthday, May 21st. They do it. They go back to Brooklyn. They do it. So here's the first 2 spots. Let's talk about those 2 days.
Yeah, well, that I think those 2 days is what was kind of documented in the Can't Stop Won't Stop documentary or whatever, as they showed the preparation for the show. We're still not exactly sure if this was like, if it was really originally just going to be the 2 shows and that's it, and then the tour like came later, or was the tour always in the works? But I mean, I think it was just such a great idea, a two-nighter in Brooklyn or whatever, with everybody there. And yeah, I mean, the crowd, you could just, if you can find, you know, YouTube videos of it and everything, like, the crowd is like very hype and very anticipating before it starts. So you just know it's going to be like a really good time.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think for me, it was smart marketing decision to do it on Big's birthday. It's 20.
That's what I was about to say.
Yeah, that was just smart to do. Then you went back home to Brooklyn. They do it there. Like, it just all made sense.
Yeah, I feel like it went back to the core and the true essence of hip hop, and that's just having a good time. And it was a celebration of life, you know, and a celebration of all the things that they've done over the years.
Yeah, and I think
what were you saying?
No, I noticed that Puff continued to say, "We just want to make y'all have a good time. We just want to make y'all feel good."
Right.
The show.
And I think what else was really special was seeing a lot of those artists that don't do arena shows and tours getting to have that moment. Because I thought it was really cool to see some of them like have the big production behind them, and because a lot, for some of them in their careers, they don't have that, like those type of tours and stuff. So it was really cool to see what all the bells and whistles with some of them who don't normally have that stuff in their normal, you know, their normal touring and shows and things like that.
Yeah.
And I thought it was just cool that it was diverse as far as hip hop and R&B, that the crowd never wavered on when it was like a slow song. They was just as hype, you know, as when it was a hip hop song. So I thought that was really cool too. And you had a little something for everybody, like stuff that was a little bit more women centric and stuff that was a little bit more, you know, men centric, or everybody and things like that. So I thought it was kind of cool.
Yeah, that was in my notes. The whole like demographic for this was like the range was incredible because you had the hip hop and the R&B, and then you have like 3 different generations that could have, you know, enjoyed this. So that's
and it's
great
like
marketing and that's good money.
Yeah, it is. And it's like it's just funny because, you know, sometimes when you go to parties or a show, like if some like slow come on or some guy comes on singing or some girl come on singing about something, and some people are like, oh, like, you know, here we go. And they sit down and stuff like that. But like I said, the energy was pretty much there the whole time. So I thought that was really nice, you know?
Yeah.
It was so funny because some of the clips that I saw, the guys were singing more than the women.
It was so, yes, they were so loud and they were feeling it too.
And I thought, because I was thinking, okay, I could see them singing Carl Thomas and I Wish I Never, or I Don't Want to Know. No, they were saying Cupid.
Or I'm going down.
Oh, yes. Everybody was singing that song. I feel like she was singing that for like 20 minutes. I was like, come on, Mary, let it go. I feel like I was in church. Like, I'm ready to go.
Let the crowd sing. She let the crowd sing. They sung the whole thing.
Right.
Mary took that doggone song, Rolls Royce, who?
Yeah.
That's another point to for those particular 2 nights that they brought a lot of featured guests out. So you had Mary, Busta Rhymes, Usher, who else?
Rick Ross.
Nas.
I think he said Nas.
Yeah, Nas came out. Yeah.
I feel like we're missing some people.
I feel like we're missing somebody too.
Did you say Jay-Z?
Yeah. That might be it.
That might have been everybody.
I think that's it.
Yeah.
French. I'm just joking.
So it's cool, like, to see some of them perform the songs that they're featured on with some of those artists, and then their own stuff. So, yeah.
So let's get into the actual 2 night, like the things that we liked, we didn't like. I think one of the biggest things that sticks out for us is the opening, right? Puff is notorious for these grandiose openings. We knew that he was gonna do Victory because that sound of Victory gets you hype, right? He transitions from Victory into Get Loose, correct? Yes.
I think there was another song before Victory.
Yeah, I think it was another one too.
Like, he opened with a song that just, to me, wasn't like the best opening song. Yeah.
Yeah.
So for me, I think we talked about it. If you're talking about Bad Boy and you want to talk that talk, you want to build the crowd up. To me, I think it could have been, you know, Victory and Bad Boy for Life. Him kind of like talking that talk about them still being there, who they are, the build up and the anticipation, all that good stuff. So we got the intro. They come in.
But you have to talk about the effects of the intro, though, not just the music. Okay, so they start off in the dark now. Ain't no lights, can't see nothing. And then all of a sudden they have the spotlight and stuff, and you see him. Yeah. And then later on you see
First, before that, you know, they had the video, like the montage.
Oh, his interview and then the montage of the videos. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Down memory lane.
Yeah.
And then it goes dark. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you see him and then everybody else on the stage with the spotlights. And I'm like, the crowd goes wild.
The crowd goes wild. Because I was like, that's exactly what I would have suggested, was all of them coming up at the beginning. And then like they disappear and then it's just him or whatever. But yeah, I thought that was cool.
The montage in itself was really, really good. I think anytime I get emotional anytime I see one, because I just feel like it's you taking this like quick, you know, back down memory lane moment in time, and you be like, dang, I forgot about that. Oh yeah, that did happen. You like have that moment, and then you get to see that growth over the time. It's done really well. It's almost like a whole nother video.
Was very montage is very theatrical. So like, you know, they get you pumped up and ready to see whatever's coming, you know?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, that opening definitely like created the anticipation that they wanted and set the mood for the type of show that everybody was gonna get.
Mm-hmm.
So we see them on the stage, they come up, they open up, they do Get Loose, which to Keisha's point, she made this offline about that being a single that was released, you know, not long before they actually went on this tour, so it made sense to kind of probably play that song or do that song. Probably wouldn't have been one that I would have done so early. I think that it could have been moved somewhere else, maybe like a dance break moment. We know Puff is notorious for those dance breaks.
Right.
So I feel like he could have moved that somewhere else. But show gets started, right? And so we have him opening it up, and I think it transitions. Correct me if I'm wrong.
He does like 3 or 4 songs, and then I think it goes to Mace.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm looking at the set list that they got for one of the shows.
Yeah. I think they did a great job at like doing songs, but like saving the good songs for later. Because whenever Mace came out, I was like, okay, but then I was like, wait, where's my song at? Where that? What happened?
No, for me, I'm sorry.
No, I was just saying. I was thinking. I like the way they kind of sectioned all like each person or group or whatever got a section to do like their known songs, but like some of the more like I guess like bigger ones were like saved a little bit for later. Like
for the finale.
I like the way they split up the set list, like because it wasn't that they just came on, like they came back on. Everybody came back on at least 2 times, like throughout the show or whatever, 2 or 3 times throughout the show. But yeah,
I think if it was up to me, I do like the breakup, but I feel like since we're telling a story of the label, I would have liked for it to go like a storyline. Like
chronological order?
Yeah, I would have liked that a little bit more to tell the story, because like you gotta understand how important that foundation of Bad Boy is. Like it was only 3 artists. You know what I'm saying? You had Craig Mack, you had Big, you had Faith, right? They were the foundation of the label. And so to kind of tell that story, I think it would have been it would have fell right in line with like the montage and kind of telling the story of Bad Boy, like where they started to where they went. That's just my personal opinion, but I do like the breakup of the songs, that they didn't do all of their songs at one setting, but they came back and did it again. I do like that.
I mean, I think if they would have went chronological, I don't think it would have worked as far as like the flow of the show, because you have to think about like they gotta try to do the set list in a way where, you know, it ebbs and flows. And if you kind of do it chronological, you're not going to you wouldn't have been able to really have that.
Yeah. And so I think there's a way to do it. I don't think to you all's point, like where they broke up the songs, I think they could have still done that, but like maybe in the way of like how they performed. Like maybe Faith wouldn't have done all of her major, like her dance bops, but maybe she could have done like her starting hits. It was just a thought for me, like telling a story. But I get it. I do think breaking it up, like you said, to your point, you got to keep the crowd interested. So breaking it up like that made sense, because you don't want stuff.
I'm not gonna lie, like when I was watching it, like we mentioned, like some of the opening songs weren't really like opening concert songs, and it's just like I felt being like, okay, I want to skip, and then I could kind of feel the crowd wasn't as hyped as when he first came out or whatever. Now, so I kind of like, it's just that those things are really important. But
Cool. So we move on from Mace, and I think they go to Lord have mercy.
Wait, I got it. Hold on. After Mace, it was 112.
Which was smart, because they went from, you know, you got rap there, you got those bops there, and then you went into the R&B. So
they were all up tempo R&Bs, the ones they did when they came out. Yeah,
they were
absolutely. So Mace's performance, I think it was just, for me, I wasn't even looking so much at his performance. It was just a moment in time. It was nostalgic to have him on that stage, him and Puff there. I think it was just a moment. I didn't really even pay attention to like choreography. I mean, they did their little shuffle across the stage, but I didn't pay attention to that. But when we move into 112, because I know them as dancers and singers, I was expecting that. So let's talk about 112's performance.
So disappointed, but I will say I'm just glad all 4 of them were on stage. We didn't have half of 112; it was all 4. But you could definitely tell that the chemistry was not there. I don't know if Duran was just out of shape, but he was definitely not hitting the moves like Q and Mike. And you know, Slim, he always do whatever the fuck you want to do, because you can when you're the lead. But I was like, Duran, get it together. What is happening?
Yeah, something was off with them on those shows. And I don't know, because I've seen them perform a lot better, like during that time, you know, or a little bit before. Like you can find plenty of YouTube videos of their shows, and they're always pretty good, like really good performance. They're usually doing all the choreography and stuff, even if it's not like super tight or clean, they still doing it. But like this, it did look a little like, it looked a little like jumbled, unprepared almost. Like the entrance was really cool, like coming in with It's Over Now and all of them on the big lifts and things like that. I thought that was really cool, but it was a little awkward. It was a little awkward watching it.
Very. And I think for me also, I think this is the part that I was like, okay, the sound is a little bit off. I think there were parts where like Q was trying to come in, you couldn't hear him. It seemed as if they like the rehearsal might not have happened as much as it.
Yeah, I was like, they didn't do a sound check, and that's very obvious.
Yeah, something was off. I don't know.
Yeah, and I think also we see them like when they went on the BET Awards, they danced like they gave you really out their choreography. When they got here, on some of the songs they should have been dancing on, it was just kind of they was just up there bopping around,
right, doing their little two-step.
I just want to be cool.
Right.
Hilarious. So yeah, so I do feel like it felt like a little bit like a dress rehearsal when they performed.
Yeah.
So
I mean, the dancers were getting it.
Oh yeah, they were.
Background vocalists getting it.
Yeah, they were performing, but yeah, they were kind of. And those songs are like good concert songs, like Peaches and Cream, Dance with Me, It's Over Now, like really good, like I said, up tempo R&B songs. But I mean, the crowd was at least singing it. You know, everybody was into it.
Yeah. So Keisha, what do we move on to after 112? What we got?
After 112, you got the first girl group, Total, Keisha, Kim, Pam. Yes. I knew, so it makes sense for them to open up with that song because it does say that Missy says their name at the beginning, so it makes sense. That was a good intro, and they were all like on the little like platforms too.
I thought it was a really cool intro, like the way it looked when they come in, like the dancers was up there by themselves dancing, then the screen starts going crazy, and then you see them coming up, and then the big light rig is like coming down like closer to the stage, so it just looked like everything was like that. It looked really cool. And then like you said, Pam was like really coming out like already hyped and stuff like that.
We joked about Pam. What's so crazy is Pam has always been like that. She has always been like really dancing and giving it to you. Kima is over there, you know, being her little cute self and just, you know, and Keisha giving you royalty is like, I'll give you these vocals when I'm ready.
Right.
When it's done, I'll let you know. I think I joked offline. I was like, she probably in her head was like, I don't need to do this. I can go home to my man. I don't.
I mean, it was probably fun. Like they probably had a lot of fun. Like it was probably, you know, getting back up there and like I said, getting to do a show on that type of scale where they normally didn't really get to do that.
Right.
And I mean, with theirs, the only thing they sounded pretty good, but there was a lot of issues with the mics. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And again, and to hear them, because we haven't heard them together in quite some time, you could hear the maturity in their voices, for sure. I think Keisha has always had a very unique, more mature sound anyways out of the other two girls, but they sounded really good together. And we had them for quite some time. And we have to remember, Total was out when we had a number of girl groups, but they weren't the ones to get the most accolades or recognition.
Right.
But so it was just really good to see them together. They sounded good. They looked good together. They looked like, most of them looked like they hadn't aged.
Black don't crash.
They looked like they hadn't aged at all. So it was really good to see them. And that performance was good. And I'm glad that they saved their songs, their bigger songs, until later in the show.
Right.
So Keisha, who we got from there?
The Locks. Okay, so I just want to say I totally forgot Jadakiss and Styles P was in the group. I was like, when they came up, I was like, oh yeah, that did happen. Dang.
And so we forget too not only did they have that success with Bad Boy, but when they left and went to Rough Riders, they also had success again. Then they had success individually.
Right, solo acts.
So I mean, they had a really good set, which is I think at first I was like, what they gonna do? Because I didn't know if they were just gonna stick to the songs they had with Bad Boy, but they was like, y'all finna get all of this.
Right.
Y'all finna get all these singles, and y'all gonna get the songs together. But yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm not like into them like that, but I thought they did a pretty good job. I mean, you know, they did what they gonna do or whatever as like the type of group they are, but I really did like everybody had a fire entrance, let me just say that. And I really liked their entrance as well, like the platforms, they were staggered.
With the steps?
They were like staggered, and then the lighting rig was staggered, like going along with them. So Lorianne, creative direction, everything, just really great job with like everybody. But yeah.
Absolutely. And it made them, you had the lyrics and everything, and you had those bops, those songs that they had, those major songs. But then also it just looked like, to your point, Rashad, about what is it, the development, the artist development, you could see it, even though they weren't trying to give you too much, but you could see like they had been worked with a little bit before going on stage, because they knew like where to go, where to stand, how to interact with the crowd, how to engage with each other. Like you could see that throughout their performance.
Definitely.
All right, moving right along. Who we got?
All right, who's next?
We got some R&B. They slow it down with Carl Thomas. And then like I didn't hopped in my feelings as soon as I heard his voice. He does something to me.
They definitely gave him the like the R&B male singer like setup. Like the way he came in, and then just like his whole set, just the way it's like staged and everything. I'm like, it's very
it was
like
so heavenly to me.
It's very like one night only with Carl Thomas. Like
right,
that kind of
he was in
feeling.
all white with the blue lights.
But every time I hear the song "Emotional," it makes me feel that way. Like
I get so much. I want to cry.
"Emotional" is such a good song, and he sounded so good. Shout out to the background vocalist yet again, because they complemented so well. But Carl sounded so good. He looked good on that stage. He looked like he felt comfortable. He looked like he was comfortable on that stage the entire time. So he does "Emotional." He does
Summer Rain,
of course.
But how about that line dance them dancers were doing to that? I was trying to learn it. I was like, y'all know y'all doing the line dance.
So he does "Summer Rain." Of course he does and I Wish I Never Met Her.
Yeah.
Right, and that's the one everybody was waiting on.
Right.
But I was. But yeah. He did a good job though.
Yeah.
He did a really good job. I think I wanted him to do that one song I do like of him, but people probably would have been like, why did he do that? You Remind Me. You know what song it is, Rashad?
How does it go?
Special, like my first love. You remember the song we choreographed? Okay, anyways, we're gonna keep it going.
Are you talking about the one, are you talking about with the guitar?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no, that was
this song.
Oh man, it's been a long time since I heard that.
I love that song. But anyways, Carl did a amazing job. Like you said, it felt like he had his R&B moment, like and all that good stuff. And so
very, very Luther Vandross, very Teddy Pendergrass, like the way, the way, like I don't know if you guys ever seen like a Teddy Pendergrass show or Luther, but like very like that was like the scene they kind of like set up.
But yeah, again, vocals impeccable. As if it was still 2001, 2002.
Right.
Right.
All right, so we truck along to.
We're still in the R&B vibes with Faith. Holding it down for the ladies.
Right, the first lady of Bad Boy.
Right.
First of all, we're not gonna sit up here. Other people had sound issues. Other people struggling at moments in time. I don't feel like, I think she might have said like she didn't hear backgrounds in her interview.
Yeah, as soon as she got on, you could hear her. She said something. They had to get her sound right.
But I don't know about y'all, but her and Carl were ready. They were ready. They was giving vocals. Faith does not disappoint vocally. She doesn't.
No, not at all. She's always
never.
She's
always on point.
She looks good.
Always.
The hair fleeky. She looked good. She sounded good. Vocals were good. Background vocals were good. The sound, the music, the arrangements were everything. The entire time. She did not disappoint as usual for me.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, she always sounds great. I hate like the thing Diddy does with her when like she's singing.
I was just about to say that.
Yeah,
then
like,
Diddy wanted to fuck up her set.
Yeah, like he gets on stage and he's like, "Come on, sing," and I'm like, "You're messing up like the
killing the whole vibe."
Yeah.
All in the videos.
Right,
all in the videos.
All on stage. But yeah, Faith did not disappoint one bit. And I think that's like a testament to like how good of an art. Like she's another one that was just a good investment as an artist from the beginning. You know, we know about her background work, we know about her writing capability, but just vocally, sis is just a whole beast. Like she really is a beast. She's a rarity, for sure. She's
I mean she's a consummate performer and she's a pro. You could tell she's a pro. Like when she she just walks up there and it just, she does what she does. And that's it.
And it looks so effortlessly.
Yeah.
Like it's just so flawless and amazing at the same time.
It can hit a mean while she's singing.
Right.
Go Faith.
Right.
All right, so we move along from Faith to
French Montana.
Where I hit skip and I left and got breakfast.
Yeah. He shouldn't even.
He was my intermission.
I don't understand how this man got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 songs set. Like, and
right.
Like what?
Like who are you?
Right. Like I get one to be like he's one of the newer ones who's popping right now and stuff, but like for that show, it's like I think he should have just been featured, or if you was gonna give him a set, maybe like 3 songs. But
I was gonna say 2 because I think I only know 2.
Well, y'all know
I think that brought it all the way down, honestly, like the energy of the show.
Well, y'all know why they did that, because they wanted to merge like current. They thought that it would bring younger artists. You would have been okay with just letting Ross come out there or Nicki come out there, do their verses on your songs, bring the current age group.
Right.
We were, and for the record, we were already with you, Puff. You didn't even need to add him.
Right.
We love the other artists. But if that was your approach, like we would have been fine with you letting him do his little feature verse, Ross do his little feature verse. We didn't need a whole set from him.
Yeah,
at all.
We really did. And a 7-song set on top of that. Like they gave him a full, it's like, what? Because some of the other people sets were like shorter, and it's just like, how does he get? Yeah, but anyways.
I mean, and then let's talk about the fact, because I think we mentioned this again offline. If I had have been, I'll name the artists that weren't there. But if I had have been
the controversy,
Green, if I had have been Loon, if I had have been Da Band, if I had have been A-Ball MJG, if I had have been Boys in the Hood, Cherry Dennis, with Kalina and Don, if I had have been B5, if I had have been Young Jock, if I had have been, the list goes on. I would have been a little bit upset that you let this man get a whole 7-song set.
Yeah.
I didn't get no shine. It's
right.
That should have been that whole set should have been Diddy Dirty Money. Like I would have took a set from them in place of, because that gives you to mix up the rapping and the singing and stuff. I would have did that then French.
Right. Or added some of them groups that weren't on there and just let all of them do like one song.
Yeah.
They would have done a medley, because he had a number of people that could have taken it. All right.
I was so disappointed that Day 26 and Dandy Kane weren't on there. How disrespectful, Diddy. How dare you?
I think Day 26 definitely could have been on there for the New York shows. I think Danny Kane, well, they probably weren't like ready for that, I guess, at that time. Because
they got their own issues.
When did they come back together again? Was it before that or was it after 2016?
Lemonade, let's see. I think Lemonade was.
But weren't they missing one person or something?
Yeah, it was the three. I want to say Lemonade was.
Because I ain't gonna lie, I mean, when they got back together, even with the four of them, they was killing it live.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Lemonade was before that, or around that.
Yes. Oh, okay. So yeah, I would have like at least given the ones that was together like a little set or something. Because I mean, we mentioned it earlier off camera, but like Danny Kane might have not fit the aesthetic of the whole show, but I think they still would have worked in some aspect of it.
Showstopping would have worked.
Showstopping would have worked for sure. Yeah, I'm thinking about some of the other stuff that's a little bit more dance pop.
Yeah, poppy.
But I think it still would have worked. I think there would have been enough people in there to be hype about it. I think so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Maybe Danny Kane was 2014. That's what I thought. Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So I think he could at least had them and had Day 26 on the New York shows if they weren't going to take them on the tour.
Right. That's the least they could have done.
Yeah. Yeah, because those were big moments for Bad Boy at those times, like for the reality show.
Mm-hmm.
And they actually had like legitimate success, like outside of the show. So I think they should have been included for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm salty for them.
Next is
Lil' Kim, right?
Little Kim.
Yes.
He comes out. Made sense.
Yeah. I like the way she came out.
Yeah.
She's always hype. She's a really good performer too. She's another like pro, like performer.
I love her.
Yeah. When she gets on stage, she's gonna give it to you. Right.
Oh yeah, she's gonna give it to you every single time. So she comes out Quiet Storm. I think for me, like she does, I know she does Queen Bitch. She does that one, which was a big Mama.
Quiet Storm, Big Mama thing, No Time, Get Money, Lighters Up on her first set.
Mm-hmm.
I think those songs made sense. I think they made sense.
But what's crazy to me is she didn't do what's the one song she got with that sample? I can't remember the name. The Color Wigs.
Oh yeah.
She didn't even do that.
I was thinking of a couple hits she didn't do, and the thing is, I can't remember the names either. Yeah. But I feel like they were big songs. And
those were the biggest songs. I was shocked that she didn't. I was too. Yeah.
But she could have definitely. I mean, he was there. She could have brought C's out, and they could have done that. I mean,
yeah.
I think maybe because I understood why she did Queen Bitch and Big Mama thing, because they were like her first two singles. They were big songs. She didn't even, did she do the song she did do it was later, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Just I guess those two songs make sense. Quiet Storm makes sense. And then y'all said she did Light Us Up. I wanted Light Us Up probably because she was in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Probably because she was in Brooklyn.
She did Light Us Up. She could have did How Many Licks? I felt like that a lot of people like that song. I don't know.
You wanted Cisco to come sliding out there.
Right. I wanted Cisco to come out and start singing. Or they could have got Tyrese to yell in the background. Either one of them would have did.
Oh no.
No, thank you.
No.
She could have did what's that other one? The Jump Off. She didn't do that. That would have been a cool one.
Yes.
Yeah. No matter what people say.
That's the song I was thinking about.
Yeah. I was thinking about that one too.
Right, that's my.
So I'm like, what are you doing? Like, she didn't do some of those like songs I feel like a lot of like the majority of everybody's familiar with. But
right.
That's okay. I mean, she performed well as she always does. It sounded like again she was having some mic issues because it was going yet again, but it could also been her ability to like
to actually say it.
Yeah, her breathing and stuff, because we saw the performance with Mary and it was kind of like in and out some years later when she performed, so it could have been that as well. But overall, good show. Again, nostalgic to see her as always.
Right.
So we bankhead bounce on over to
DMX.
It's me and you now.
Sorry, we're talking about the New York show. Yeah. I'm looking at a set list from like the tour later on. But yeah.
Okay. So we move on to who was that?
Cassie.
Cass.
Yeah. She did that one hit, and she probably did a couple more songs, but the video I watched, it was just that one hit. And I was salty yet again because I was like, why is she on stage and all these other amazing people aren't?
Yeah. But we all kind of know why that.
We do know why.
Really good.
That shit must be real good.
That was a good song. It was a moment in time. However, it doesn't help him in his argument that they were sticking with the older or the original Bad Boy artists. It doesn't help his story when you have her and you have French performing. It doesn't help the story.
Not at all.
That's all we'll say there. We'll move on.
It was like a nice little surprise because it's like, oh, you wasn't expecting that, and you know that song was a song at the moment that it came out. So
totally forgot about her. I ain't even gonna lie.
All right, I do like Cassie though. You know, Replacement Girl was my jam. Anyways, move on from Cassie. Who's next? Go.
Let's see here. Wait, I think after Cassie, that was whenever he did the Shiny Suit Man video.
No, because I think Usher and Mary and all that was kind of in there too.
Okay.
So we got
What'd you say, Terry?
So the appearances started at this point.
Yeah, I think he had a lot of appearances during that, and then Usher comes out and does "I Need a Girl" Part 1, and then they do "I Need a Girl" Part 2 together, which was cool.
Which trash.
Mario Winans comes out.
You can't do that without Genuine screaming. You can't. You just can't.
It's in the background. I didn't understand when they performed. First of all, Usher was ready. He had the U-chain. He was ready.
Stay ready.
He said, "Oh, y'all didn't let me come out. Hold on, let me get my chain."
He's been doing this since 14.
Right. Y'all didn't don't leave your girl around me. You playing for real. He said, "Oh no, I'm
right."
So, but I did. It was kind of weird because when he did Part 2, Mario was in the background.
Like, right.
I was like, why is he not up front? Like,
and then Usher is up front, like he on the track.
Yeah.
I mean, I love Usher, but I'm like, what are you doing, bro? Like,
shoulders, right? Yeah, that was confusing. And Mario, I think we actually skipped because I think Mario performed somewhere before Cassie or like around Cassie and before that. Yeah. Which Mario, it was good for him to sing his song. I mean, that was good that he sung his song. That's he didn't need to do much else. He had written and produced other stuff. I mean, they was doing the songs for him. He didn't need to do nothing else. But yeah.
The way you said it though, I'm just like, and then I'm over here trying to think of something else to say, and there ain't nothing else to say. I mean,
it was nice they gave him a little. It was nice they gave him a spotlight.
He got his shine.
Yeah. No disrespect to Mario or the Winans. We love them, but
super talented.
Yeah, absolutely. Anyways, moving right along. So then we get into, like we said, the various appearances or appearances from the other artists. So we have Usher come out there. We already missed with French. We had Ross come out there.
Rick Ross, yeah.
Is this the portion where DMX comes out?
I think so.
Okay.
It's in there somewhere. Yeah.
X does his string of hits. Just like a
Busta Rhymes comes out.
Yeah, Busta Rhymes did his.
Pastor Cavassier.
What was it? Ciroc?
Pastor Ciroc, this way.
This way, yeah.
Rock this way.
What got me was the bottle of Ciroc on the screen. Like every time they said the word, it was like Ciroc.
Subliminal messaging.
Right.
And it was hype. It was hype the way it happened because he just walks out and he's like talking to the crowd and he's like, "Let me ask y'all something." And it's like, "Don't do that, remember Joe."
I was looking for the little guy, The little boy that was dancing the last
Right.
he performed on the MTV Awards.
Right. Yeah, the little boy on the MTV Awards.
Yes.
They should have brought him back.
That's
I'm
super.
surprised Pharrell wasn't there. I'm surprised they didn't.
Right.
Yeah.
I was very surprised. So that was good to see, Bus DMX does his string of hits, which, New York is going to always go up for. Swiss was there as well. So that was really good to see. And then we get into Mary, right? I think Mary comes out during this time. She does her string of hits, and not even all of them.
Right, just a few. She gave me a little taste.
And of course, she does her dance, that damn dance.
Right.
And then with the leg.
Right, the leg. Kick. Kick.
There's no need to tell you.
It's hilarious every time I see her do that.
Every time.
Every time.
And I'm like, get it, auntie. Go, auntie.
They don't call her auntie, no swear. But no, I will say though, I don't care what anybody says. Mary and Puff together are just like a vibe. Like it feels good for them to be in the same space together, and you feel it. Like I could only imagine being a fly on the wall when they were creating like her work, like her first albums. Like it probably was very electric to be in those spaces between them, because you can just feel the chemistry. Like I know they don't practice them damn shuffles and dance moves together, but it's like they just know what each other gonna do. They just
they complement each other.
Absolutely. So it's always good to see her on the stage. Glad that she was able to kind of tell her story from where she started and how he helped her, all that good stuff. But it's good to see Mary anytime. She's gonna give you a good show. So then we come around the mountain to
the finale. Basically the finale set or whatever, which is all like I guess maybe the biggest songs, I guess, or not maybe the biggest, but maybe the most recognizable hits or whatever. And you got, because there was a lot of, they had like, this is what I really liked about it, was that it was everybody that's in the show, like they all came out kind of one at a time, but then they all stayed up there for each other's song or whatever. And
didn't they do the Biggie set before that though?
Oh yeah, there was a Biggie set too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, with the videos and stuff.
Yeah. Which was, let's just be honest about it. What else could you have done other than that? I think it was a moment for the crowd to, sing those songs, look at those videos, be in there. I don't think there was another way to pay homage to him.
I do.
Go ahead.
Okay, so you know how Tupac showed up at Coachella?
No. Hold on. I'm so sorry. Did we forget Hov?
Oh yeah. We mentioned Jay-Z, but we didn't talk about his performance. We mentioned that he showed up.
First of all, anytime Hov come, he gonna shut it down. Period. Anytime. Brooklyn goes crazy. Period.
Yeah.
He shows up. And for them to do that song, for him to do his part, his rap version of that song, made sense because it was a sample of a track, his original song. So that just made sense. And then of course he does My Name Is Hov, like that just made sense. I have no complaints. I'm so glad he showed up because when he shows up, he shows out. But now we can move on. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yes, I personally wanted them to get a little more creative with the Biggie part. I understand budget and everything. You got a lot of people, but I feel like I didn't want them to do the actual like hologram like they did with Tupac, but they could have done some like digital like graphics and stuff and like had him perform or something on the screen. Something more creative than just putting up the video. Like I feel like I was watching BET. Like
I get what you're saying, but like it probably was budget. Like you said, it was already a whole bunch of people. It was a big production show, but I get what you're saying. They could have figured out something like maybe there was archival footage of like live performances from him. Maybe they could have put together or something for those songs so it could be like a live experience, or maybe they could have arranged the songs in such a way that they felt live, and maybe they could have messed with the audio to make it sound like with the reverb and everything. Like there's some things they could have done for sure, but the easiest was to do what they did. So
right.
that's probably why they did it. It was probably just throw up the videos. We trying to take care of everything else.
Right. I mean, we got to do it for his birthday. Let's just put the video up.
We got time to do nothing else. This is what they gonna get. Okay, this is what they gonna get. We ain't got time. But I do agree. They could, if they, and maybe because again we said that they did this concert. Maybe there was, a certain amount of time they had or didn't have. Maybe they were working on things and they were like, okay, when we have the rest of the tour, we'll probably do that. So we don't know what the reasoning for them not doing something like a hologram or putting some photo, him performing, whatever. I don't know. They probably could have done some other stuff. But maybe it was timing. But yeah.
But yeah, after that is the finale set, which is like a lot of the up tempos that are really big hits, and you have let's see, Only You I think started off 112, and Biggie and Mace, and you go from there. It's like Can't You See, Love Like This, Whoa, all the way up. It's all about the Benjamins, all that stuff.
Yeah, and I love how they had their little jerseys, the little baseball jerseys.
Yeah, they all had
we gotta hold it down for the home team, gotta represent.
Right, and I like that everyone shared in that last set moment. Everybody was on stage, and it was just, if you weren't, if it wasn't your song, you're in the back, but you still dancing and singing.
Yeah, it was a party.
Yeah, it was a party basically. It was a family reunion basically.
Yeah.
Lame.
It was good to see them all on the stage together. I mean, when you seeing all of them together, just was like, wow, they really ran the charts. They really ran hip hop. They really ran R&B and a little bit of pop for quite some time. Say what you want. They are one of the most powerful or most influential labels of our time. They are, and to see all of them on stage was like a moment, and it made you realize just how great their impact is, and to think that this was all from this one guy who was crazy enough to say, I want my own stuff, and he leaves or gets let go. We don't know the true story, but leaving Uptown, having that success there, and starting from the beginning and creating this. Who would have thought this would have happened? These artists and the impact that they've had. The
longevity.
Yeah, the longevity.
It was a great show. It was a great show. It was a fun show, and I'm glad they took it on the road. I'm still, I'm mad I didn't get to go or get to see it when it came here, but and I think it was pretty much the same show, like with a few changes and things like that, like when they took it on the road. But I mean, a great idea, just a great idea that they was able to pull it off, because that's a lot of scheduling a tour like that was probably a mess, because that's a lot of people to, all their schedules got to align, for them to be able to do that, do those nights. And it was just good. I mean, my only thing I think that I would have wanted for the show, I think, was maybe if the arrangements would have been made a little bit more live, they had the band playing, but what I'm saying, switching up the arrangements to make it a little bit more of a concert type kind of sound. But that's the only thing I think I would have changed, and maybe a few artists being there. Yeah.
I feel like they could have done better with the graphics on the screen for some situations.
Yeah, I agree. And I think another thing, those lifts, I think something else could have been done with those, if there was lighting rigs or something on them, or screens or something that made a box with the lifts or whatever. I feel like they could have did a little bit more with that as well, dressing it up, but that's little things that didn't have to. I just think it would have enhanced it. But yeah.
Right.
I think the show itself or the concept to do a tour was it made sense. It marketing sense. It made financial sense. It was a great thought to have, but to your point, Rashad, that undertaking, that task probably was damn near impossible
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to, like you said, the different cities, you got to think about what songs really, hit in those cities. You have to think about people's schedule. People got kids now. People got other things going on. So I'm sure the undertaking of trying to put that together was just a lot to do. I think for me, the 2 nights, I get it. They wanted to do it on Big's birthday, but we would have just given them the best 2 nights of their life and said it was an experience. We would have recorded it and released it.
Yeah.
And that would have been dead on that.
That's another thing, Terica, that we had mentioned. Like, I just don't understand why there could be something professional recorded and it never came out. Maybe they wasn't happy with it. I don't know. But I'm just surprised that we don't have like a DVD, or we don't have a TV special, a HBO Showtime, something to have that like on film, because it is a big moment. And I'm really surprised that we don't have like a professional recording of that like available to watch.
Yeah, it was definitely a missed opportunity. But like I said before, I really feel like he was trying to have the true essence of the 90s. Because, back in the day, if you didn't see a concert, you didn't see a concert. Like, there wasn't Instagram, YouTube. It was like either you were there and experienced it, or you didn't. You just heard about it. So I feel like
a lot of them still came out with like DVDs though. Like,
yeah.
Like concert, but I get what you're saying. It kind of like you had to be there kind of.
Yeah,
thing.
like it was an exclusive thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe that's what they wanted. Maybe that is what they wanted.
And maybe they didn't do it those 2 nights because the thought was, we're going on tour, we'll get footage from these different tours and kind of do them, put it all together. But unfortunately, they ended up having to cancel, reschedule a lot of dates. I just think, to me, I would have went the Black Album Jay-Z tour approach, and I would have filmed that, because that was just a moment in time.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
That feel, you're not going to get that again.
Yeah, they definitely should have filmed that 2-nighter one for sure. Put together the footage of like all the best parts from both nights and put it together, because there were sound issues and stuff. But I definitely would have filmed that particular one, just because that was quote unquote the special originally.
Right.
But yeah.
And then Diddy, I want to say a year after that, he came out with the Can't Stop, Won't Stop on iTunes, the documentary. And in the preview of that, it's behind the scenes footage of the tour and stuff. So I thought that they were going to show, some performances from the tour. And then I watch it and I'm like, that's it?
Yeah, I know, right?
Where's the show at?
Right. It's like, we're not going to get the show at least? That's just an very odd missed opportunity to me, because I feel like if they would have sold those rights to I said, like a HBO or something, I feel like they would have done really well. But yeah.
Absolutely. So do we think, first of all, we know that it was smart to do, made sense, at the time. Do we think that they should do it again because we're 27 years now, technically, if we look at 93 or 25 years, whether give or take. But do we think that they should try it again at the 30 mark?
I don't think. I just think it's too. Well, one is too close to.
Right.
It's not going to have the same effect.
The next reunion would have to be 50, and the question won't be should they. It would be can they.
Right. I think. Yeah. I just don't see. I really don't see something like that happening again for that particular group of people. But,
right.
Yeah.
I don't
because a side note, So Def, I think they need to try it again or whatever, because I don't think that was what it should have been.
Right.
But Bad Boys, I just think because they did actually get it off the ground, they're going, they did a lot of shows. Mm-hmm. It's too it just happened about 4 years ago, so I just don't see it really anytime soon them doing that again.
Well, they came, they saw, and to conquer. But overall, like you said, not a bad tour, even though we had to piece parts together. Not a bad tour, great concept. It was a nostalgic moment. Setting it up at the BET Awards that year made sense. And again, we know that at the end of the day, if Puff don't do nothing else, he's going to give you an experience. And that's what you got. You got it. We won't even talk about him and him telling his stories in between.
That shiny suit man got me.
But no, this is, I mean, really good tour. And guys, we will be looking to you all to suggest some other tours, concerts that you all would like for us to dissect. This was our very first one. Super excited to do it. But we have more, and we'll look forward to you all suggesting them as well. So, Keisha, you want to take us out?
Yeah. Also, it doesn't have to be a tour. It could be a body of work, you know, an album. We could do another like dissection of somebody's career. Just let us know what you want to see. Like, share, subscribe, and we'll see y'all next time.
Thank you guys.
Bye.